either tie my shoe or untie my shoe or something like that. If there's a lot of food in my belly, like you might come up, you're like, ooh, that was a little okay.
Yeah.
If I was like 200 pounds overweight, that's a feat of strength.
Fuck yeah. And like, Will.
Yeah.
And then people say like, oh, you just need to get your fat ass to the gym. It's like, motherfucker, I use every ounce of willpower I have every day to get my goddamn socks on. You tell me just go to the gym. Like,
I think the first move for that is like maybe you should just eat less calories, like consider less calories every day, and your body's gonna automatically just eat itself
right.
for a while.
Yeah.
Just like try not to completely just sit in one spot while you do that.
Lots of water.
We're going to talk about that whole thing where it's people who talk about what we're talking about right now, and how there's a lot of people who are
Comics, we mean, not obesity.
right. People who are into comics who maybe might be on the obese thing and like
The stereotype.
the stereotype. I want to talk about that later, and we discussed talking about it, and we will in the future. Which it's an interesting thing to me.
Me too.
Because of the superheroes are, for the most, with the one exception
Chiseled.
there's one exception. It's what's her name? Is it Zephyr in Valiant? She's like a big girl.
Yeah, and she's actually getting a book, a new book soon. Yeah.
But that's the only, other than her and like Blob.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
Superhero.
Yeah.
He's like a super villain probably.
Villain.
Yeah,
he's a villain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brotherhood of Evil Mutants.
Yeah.
But I think that comes into like definitely the psychology behind, like, for the individual, like, why are you reading comics? You know, do they inspire you, or is it an escape?
Right.
You know.
Right.
So,
Second.
and that's something we can talk about.
Yeah,
The latter.
We'll get there because that. Yeah, we're like any more of that talk, and we're gonna get into it.
Right.
Yeah. We have other things to talk about.
Yeah, we
Like
got
the goddamn-
two really cool things to talk about.
Yeah. The Goddamned is the first thing.
Boom, new image book.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron,
Yeah.
Goddamn the goddamn.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Normal size penises.
Normal.
Yeah,
Still penises.
yeah, very
Still a lot
normal.
of penises this week.
Yeah.
There were a lot of penises.
I mean-
there were some uncircumcised penises in this book.
The protagonist was naked the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
Butt
his
naked
penis
fighting
is,
people.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
He
Penis.
beat the shit out of
Right there,
people.
Right there. See?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's the elephant trunk right there.
Uncircumcised.
I'm gonna unfortunately admit I don't know who drew this book, but it's amazing.
It's great. Jason Aaron is just everywhere now.
Yeah,
He's just doing
he's
everything.
good. I mean, he's
Can we just open up? I'm just gonna read this quote verbatim.
This is the first page.
This is the first page. As soon as you flip open the cover of the Goddamn, and it's a quote from the Bible, from the Old Testament, Genesis 6, chapter 6,
So we're
verses
starting-
5
we
and
are
6.
Starting with fantasy.
Yeah. But here we go. And God saw. I see what you just did there. I was like, wait.
pure fantasy.
We're open with this powerful reference to
It's great. It's a great quote.
for the thinking world, a fantastical story. And God saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord that he had made man on earth, and it grieved him at his heart. Holy shit.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
starting out like, and this is for all of the people who think that maybe this isn't a fantastical story, that like God's like, man, I fucked up.
He
Like,
fucked up
these
huge.
fucking things, all they do is kill shit and kill each other, and they have terrible thoughts, and they're just thinking about terrible shit.
So Dan,
And-
turn the page. Turn the page, Dan. After that powerful message, turn the page. What do you see?
Yeah. a shit pond. It's the
It's
shit
literally
pond.
a shit pond.
Like literally a shit pond in just a desolate. I mean, it looks like some sort of dystopic, post-apocalyptic, a fucking decomposing body.
Horrendous. A desert.
In a desert.
for the
Yes,
people-
I mean it is also
a shit desert.
It's
It's
From the people
And-
who
and-
brought you
and you
Mad
know what?
Max, it's the Bible.
Yes. But in this desert, in this scene, there is a kid with an arm missing, and he's just pissing off a rock.
That's the first thing. That's the first person.
So-
the first
so-
human being you
Yeah,
see is
like after that, like insanely powerful quote about God, like fucking up. This is what you see. You see a desert, a desolate area with skulls and bones and fucking shit, and then you see some little kid like pissing
without an arm. So something
without
happened
an
to his
arm. Yeah, like so. This is humanity, people.
And-
We
and-
are
and-
fucking animals.
And it's not like it doesn't look like an arm he was maybe born with. This
it's
arm
a
has been removed
stump.
post him
Yep.
being like it's a stump, and so and it's a healed stump. It's not like a bloody stump. It's a healed stump. So this kid lost his arm well into childhood. So this is the kind of world we're dealing with. We're dealing with a world where children lose limbs
And then-
just pee willy nilly.
And then you turn the page, and you find out that kid was pissing on a person.
who fell asleep in a shit pond, which was the only source of clean water for that region.
Yep.
And like they, instead of shitting in the acres, the miles, the tens of thousands of square miles of desert, they shit
In the water.
in the water.
Yeah.
So what a wonderful. Go ahead.
I was
Greg.
going to say that it all highlights a point, well, a difference between, and what is so often said in, I guess Old Testament. Well, no, I shouldn't say Old Testament, really, but like Christians today say, like, God loves every one of us, but that quote is saying God regrets every one of us.
It's awesome.
Yeah, yeah,
And,
absolutely.
he might look at us as we look at a pet lizard that shits in his little water bowl that we set out for him.
Yep.
Which, by the way, I had.
So you can relate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are the product of 7 billion regrettable one night stands that God had with Satan.
Yeah.
And
no, that-
spawned us.
yeah. Well, yeah. And I think that's a great thing. Like, because every once in a while, like I love my cat to death, but actually I didn't clean it up yet. There's a pile of throw up right there behind me. It's like, wow, you're actually kind of an asshole, and I every once in a while wish that you wouldn't have been here
Cat barf.
at all. Yeah.
They eat their food too fast. And they.
Yep. So yeah, thanks for being a dick. And now I have to clean up after you.
Now, you know what I'd like about Greek mythology compared to Christianity? Zeus, like, he came down to Earth and he had sex with all kinds of women, and
That's awesome.
he procreated.
Yeah.
And it was no big deal. And it was like it was acceptable, and it was a part of Greek mythology. With Christianity, like, and you think about that passage, God is very disappointed in humanity in the way that it is portrayed in this book.
It's
And
a shame thing.
yeah, it's like,
Shame
wow,
thing.
I messed up. I made these horrendous people, and then you open the book up, and it's a kid peeing on another person, and the kid has no arm. He's missing an arm because he got it hacked off.
Yeah.
Jason Aaron took literature, because that's what the Old Testament is,
That's fair.
and he put his own twist on it,
Yeah.
and it was
It's really cool.
really cool. Like, okay, everyone knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Yeah.
Everyone knows the story of the Garden of Eden. Everyone knows the story of Noah. He puts a certain twist on all of it, and you end the book and you're like, whoa, that was really cool look on that. And I'm gonna come back for more. And then the art is like completely brutal.
The art's
Like,
fantastic.
yeah.
I'd say about like half of the entire middle portion of the book is just violence.
very.
Yeah, there's no
Very much
dialogue.
violent.
It's
There's
just
no
all-
dialogue. It's just
Yeah.
him killing a bunch of dudes, and it looks great. I mean, it looks brutal and terrible, but the art is fantastic.
Jason Aaron said right before this book came out, he said, "This is not for everybody."
Right.
And he's right, but I think all of us liked it.
Yeah. Well, and for him to say something like that, because he's worked on some pretty brutal shit before. Like, did you read Men of Wrath?
Mm-hmm.
The art actually might be more brutal in that than it is. I mean, maybe the actions are more brutal in that than in this. But
So far, yeah.
for Jason Aaron, the point is for Jason Aaron to say like this is brutal, it has to be fucking intense.
Even like Southern Bastards is intense.
Right. Yeah.
And what's cool I mean, there's so many cool things, but one of the cool things about this book is you think about, because Cain is depicted in the Bible as the first person to commit a murder.
Yeah.
That is pretty bleak if you think about it. Like,
Right. To have invented murder.
yeah, that's horrendous.
Like, and we know that our primate ancestors, like whatever chimpanzees and different primates, I mean, they'll fucking murder each other.
Right, but
to think, like,
a
whenever
glorified story that was taught and passed down was created for this guy.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. But to think that there was, like, when we became whatever things that resembled more what we are today, some Homo sapiens or some type of humanoid, and there was at one point there was the first murder on Earth.
Amoebas weren't necessarily killing each other at some point. Like once we, became land roaming creatures. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm sure that. Yeah. It would have to. You'd have to like. I don't know. There's definitely no way to pinpoint. Who committed the first murder or at what like point. It's a sliding scale of like what is a human being. As far as like evolution goes and where you draw the line between this person is this is not a person. This is an ape. And then this is an actual person.
But there was a first murder.
But yes, I'm sure there was a first.
There was
has to
a
be
first.
murder.
But we do not know. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
No. I mean, of course, nobody knows. But the thought that, before this, there was this moment, an actual moment in history, that prior to it, two sentient beings with an understanding of their past and their future, some understanding of these things in themselves in connection with a greater world. There was a point where these things had never killed another one of them.
I would say that that's it's not that's not the case. I'm gonna say that the case is once one of us killed another person, and then somebody else said, "I'm not okay with that." That's the first murder, because before that it's just animals killing animals. Like you don't look at two rats fighting over or like two stags fighting over a doe or whatever. A deer fight. you don't look at that and then like once it's over you go, "Excuse me, sir, can you just come over here please and answer some questions?" Like that's just what happens. But if for some reason a bunch of other deer came over to the deer that won and were like, "Sir, can you please come with us?"
Well, no,
then it's a murder.
No, and I don't think that murder is defined by someone else not being okay with it. I think
it is because God is not okay with it.
No, sure. But taking God out of the equation and taking religion out of it.
I'm the last person, obviously, to argue from the God perspective.
Right. But I'm saying it's just an interesting thought that there was a first murder. And that first murder, I don't think is defined by whether or not other people were okay with it, but it was an intentionally taking another human's life in circumstances where it wasn't necessary and was perhaps driven by
a selfish thing,
driven by motives that were for your own motives,
your own self-interest.
Your own self-interest.
That's fair.
And that's kind of crazy. Like, who was that first motherfucker? And what was it over?
Yeah. Well,
food. Probably not food. Probably not food. Like, probably
jealousy or something else.
Maybe some very human drive, some very human, specifically human emotion.
Right.
Very base human emotion.
Right. Well, one
Yeah.
I mean, there are there are murders that are committed for like overarching ideas, like who shot JFK and shit like that. But for the most part, I'd say 99.9999 continuing percent of murders are because someone lost their cool and you know what, this dude's got to go. I got to kill this
Yeah.
person. And it's never for. You could even say, okay, I can see why you did that, but maybe you could have, gone a different way with that. That's essentially what you're trying something for murder. You're like, yeah, you shouldn't have done that. With the exception being if someone their life was threatened, they're like, okay,
Well, then it's
you
not
had no
murder.
choice. Exactly, it's not murder then. But it's never. You never have somebody who's like, well, I murdered this person because I knew that in 100 years they'd become some kind of weird cult figure and that's going to be really bad for all of humanity. People would say either you're crazy as fuck, or how did you know that was? Point is, people murder people for stupid reasons. It's almost always a stupid reason.
Well, I think the definition of inside the definition of murder is this is not a good reason to kill someone. like there are
That's
some
fair,
good
yeah, that's a good
reasons
point.
to kill people. But the murder is defined by it not having had been a good reason to kill someone.
You really didn't have to do that.
Yeah,
Now you're in
that's-
trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's a good point. Everything I just said sounded real stupid.
You make me feel a little bit better about my concern. Out of context, I guess that doesn't make any sense. To the listener. Never mind.
Yeah.
But then also the thing that's really cool at the end where Noah is portrayed as a slave owning, shipbuilding cannibal.
Right.
Fuck.
Well,
Was anybody else's mind blown?
Very much so.
Yeah.
There was something about the kid that there was the one armed kid
Right.
that's in the whole thing.
His fucking sons took him.
Right. Yeah. Noah's sons took him, and then Cain. They followed them or something. I forget what happened.
Yeah.
Did they show
Yeah.
Cain reacting to that at all? I can't.
They did at the end. He was aware that the kid had.
Oh yeah, because Cain had left after he slaughtered all the warriors in that one tribe.
Right. And then he had like the long internal monologue of
Right.
like his history. Like I had a family once, and we were happy, and then
Yeah, I battled all kinds of monsters because I murdered my brother.
like kill my brother, and yeah.
Hmm.
Which it shows. I was like 2 pages of like his remorse. So I think that's going to play a part into his character development as the series goes on. But like by the end of it, yeah, like you're right, he didn't really care about the kid
Yeah.
at all.
Speaking of his remorse, what I think is really interesting is, and hopefully they delve into like the idea of him, because he's been alive for 1,600 years at this point.
Yep.
Between
Yeah.
him murdering his brother and being
Long
cursed.
time.
Yeah. For those of you who haven't read this, he is. His curse is, I should say, the mark of Cain is not like a physical mark. It's the fact that he's unable to die, and so he just puts himself in all kinds of horrendous situations and kind of gets killed a lot, but doesn't really care because he can't die.
The man who cannot die.
But I
Right.
feel-
He's facing off some weird lizard.
Yeah, like at the end, there's like a big ass lizard that's happening, and it's, I don't know. The question is his want, for me? The thing that occurred to me was, is his act of committing the first murder, inventing murder, is it worth like the eternal price of not dying? That's crazy.
because he says like I want to end my curse.
Yeah,
He says it, and he can't because he puts himself in front of these situations where we would all die a horrific death if
Yeah.
a giant lizard was facing off with us, but he gets out of it because he just can't die. This is curse.
right. But and the question is like, because I think at one point he actually calls God a cunt, right?
Yeah, he does.
He does.
He
Yeah.
does. Hates him
Yeah.
because God cursed him.
Right. And I like that because at the end of the book, you meet Noah, who is apparently a cannibalistic slaver, And then you think like, okay, so the Bible kind of glorifies him, and if he's a fucking asshole, then is Cain right? Is God actually just like doing whatever he wants for no like good reason? Is he actually a dickhead? Is he being because when you look around the world today, not today, anytime. I shouldn't just say today. I sound like an old person. Look around the world anytime.
It was right in Genesis.
Yeah, exactly. Throughout the entire history of mankind, horrible shit has happened. Just all the time. It's all the shit doesn't change. War never changes.
There's like an actual statistic. It's like for every 16 days of war in the world's history, there's been one full day of peace.
Right, exactly.
That's a
yeah.
But real quick, I wanted to bring this up. Does somebody want to give just a very brief 3-sentence history on Cain, who for everyone who may not be familiar with?
That's fair. Yeah. Yeah.
Do it up.
All right. So as I pour this whiskey.
Yeah.
Cain is a character in the Old Testament of the Christian Bible. Sorry. Judeo-Christian Bible. He is he the older son of? I forget which one is older.
For some reason
I want to say he's the older.
I could be wrong. I thought that he was the younger one, but
Maybe he's the younger. I don't know.
It's been a while.
Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
He's one of two sons of the first two people that were created, by God after blah blah.
Adam and Eve.
And for whatever reason, he and his brother do not get along, and he ends up murdering him, and thus becoming the first human to murder another person. And God says to him, "Hey, what the fuck, Richard?"
I just made these fucking
Well played, sir.
toys.
Yes, nicely done.
There's only 4 of you
Yeah, like
so far,
Shit.
and you just
yeah,
you
you
just
fucked it
killed
up so hard.
25% of history. Like, of all the things you could have done, you wiped away one of 4 of you. Fuck.
You killed more people than the Black Death will.
Percentage-wise, absolutely.
Percentage-wise.
Yeah.
25% of the entire world's population you just fucking axed.
We've
What
been
the
here
hell's wrong with you?
We've been here for like not that much time, and you're already responsible for the greatest catastrophe, like
the world may ever know.
the greatest loss of life in the history of mankind.
So here's what's gonna happen.
Percentage-wise.
You're gonna live for a really, really long time,
So as a result, I mean,
and the world's gonna be desolate, and
Well-
people are gonna kill each other, and cut each other up, and rape each other, and enslave each other.
the best. Okay, so if we're not talking about if we're talking about the Bible or this, it actually doesn't matter what either one.
Yeah, it doesn't because this is
This is where it starts to break. Like the whole continuity starts to break down. Where so Cain is sent to wander, like God curses him and he's sent to wander the earth and this is like I think that's the Bible version. He just wanders the earth, and then you don't hear anything about him, and then there's just like a bunch more people. Oh, there's a bunch more people.
We don't know what the fuck happened to him.
Well, first of all, where the fuck did these other people come from? Because there was 2 people, and then there was 4, and then there was 3, and then that one guy got sent away.
Yeah.
And then there's just like a bunch of other people, and you're like, wait a minute. Where
when
did
it
these
got
people
to
come from?
3, it should have been the end of people.
Right. So
Gene pool is shallow.
so you're telling me that like there's a book that tells me the history of what happened at the beginning, but leaves out like the whole. Oh, by the way, there's a bunch of other groups of people, and right after the first 2 people, we made a bunch of other people.
Well, you know how our great grandparents, like we might have like a brother and a sister, or 2 brothers, or something like that. But then like your parents' parents had like 9 kids or something. So I mean, maybe they were just had that much more room to go. Let's keep on going. There's plenty to go around.
Right. So to continue with what you like the explanation. then Cain's wandering, and somehow, him being the only son of the first two people, after a bunch of years, he is amongst a bunch of other people whose origin is not explained in any way.
Yeah.
In this book or the Bible or any other place.
Well, if that's it's not. It's so many years later because he lives for
1,600 years.
Okay.
But where did the
Well,
rest
yeah.
of the
Well,
people-
over the course of that time, I mean, that's
he's the only remaining, I mean, I guess Adam and Eve could have had more kids.
right. Of course, that's what.
Wait, do they have more kids in
I
the
think
Bible?
biblically,
I don't think so.
like
More kids?
they live to be like I don't know what, like 500 or 600 years old, don't they?
It
I don't know,
it did not
something
say
crazy like
it did not specify when Eve hit menopause. So I don't think that we need to be overly critical.
That's a fair.
Yeah,
fair
we don't need to be
statement,
overly critical of the realism behind it,
yeah, that's a good
because
point.
yeah.
Anyway, so in this, let's go back to this book. So this book, I don't know. It's super brutal.
Super
Yeah.
violent.
Yeah, it does not fuck around.
Mm-mm.
The only thing I would like to see is Cain actually look like he's from the Africa or the Middle East.
Right.
He's Cro-Magnon, man.
Yeah, but
those people are probably pretty brown.
Yeah, he's very Anglo looking. Like he looks like a pristine white fella. And
He looks like Bradley Cooper.
I mean, he's like kind of a handsome dude.
No, come
He
on.
look back. He looks
All right,
pretty
I'm gonna-
goddamn.
I'm gonna
perfect.
go
Look,
back.
he's very handsome.
Yeah.
He's a good
He's
looking.
fucking
dude.
white, gray hair. What are you talking about?
you're right. Old people are always ugly. No, he looks like
Look at those blue
Oh,
eyes.
that's very
though.
Brad Pitt.
yeah, he looks like Brad Pitt, or he looks like
Yeah, but right
Benicio
here,
del Toro, like a young
right here
Benicio
is
del
the
Toro.
man.
In fact, that's Benicio del Toro.
Okay, but he has the man bun here, which is horrendous.
Well, we all
And-
know the man bun is not acceptable, and no one should ever do
He looks
that.
old
No,
here.
it's-
Like
We have two people with long hair on this podcast,
And
and
they're
I
not-
think we're all in agreement that the man bun.
Mm.
I can't even believe that I'm saying that phrase, man
Yeah.
bun. Just
well,
don't put
this
your
is
hair
2015.
stupid-
if you have to have
You don't
the,
have to
the
do that.
prefix to a name be like gender specific, because to let you know, like, oh, this is my
Look, this is
my
the thing-
man bun.
this is the
like
thing
I
that-
have to. I can't just say, oh, I have my hair in a bun, because it is so strongly tied to like a feminine way of being that you have to say, no, I have a man bun.
Right.
Like,
if you're
oh,
secure, just say
That's
it's in
a
a
very,
bun.
very
Yeah,
good
it's-
point. I never thought about that.
Just say your hair's in a bun, man.
Right,
like,
it's
if
a
you're-
bun.
Yeah.
If you're not worried about what people think,
Wow.
by putting your hair in a bun, then maybe you should just say it's in a bun.
You opened my eyes tonight.
I'm happy.
I mean, Jared, you have pretty long hair. Like your hair's down to like past your like probably mid chest.
Yeah, it's
Jared
pretty-
could do an epic man bun.
I
When's
can
the
do all
last
kinds
time
of shit.
you
You do a
needed to put
French
your hair
fry.
in a bun?
What's never, ever,
Good.
ever, never even thought about it.
Exactly.
Good.
Not necessary. Yeah, like
Instead
Because I don't want to look like a librarian.
Instead of Han Solo, you could go as Leia for Halloween.
Yeah, I could. That'd be funny.
It's like no amount of
not a
scruffy
bad
facial hair is going to make up for the fact
That would be
sorry.
pretty
that
funny.
from behind you. I mean, because you probably buy your clothes at Urban Outfitter, and you look like probably slender build fella. I don't see a lot.
No. Actually, you know what? There's a lot of dudes who are now like the kind of burly, crunch fitness dudes.
Oh, wearing man buns.
They have a lot of man buns there. Yeah.
Crunch.
Yeah. Because they're like, oh, I'm a Viking now.
Yeah,
sir.
that's a lot what it is.
Yeah.
I want to be a
I
Viking.
have a beard. I'm a Viking. I'm really tough. I have a lot of facial hair. I have hair. I'm a hairy guy.
Okay,
I'm a
but-
big hairy guy with a man bun.
That's disgusting and disappointing.
And you know what? I hate to say this, but I'm pretty sure that in a couple of the Marvel movies, Thor has a man bun in.
He does.
Yeah, yeah, I think he does.
Yeah.
But you know what? In this book, this dude beats the shit out
He
of
kills enough people to like
everybody
justify having a man
with
bun.
bad hair.
Yeah.
No, you can never kill enough people
Yeah,
to justify
he has-
having a man bun.
Well, no, he
the
doesn't
only
really.
thing you could kill enough people
No.
for me to not say shit about you having a man bun.
I will say
That's
this.
true, yeah, it's not okay. It's just,
No.
I'm not gonna
He
say
doesn't.
Yeah.
He doesn't adopt and it's a very small man bun. He doesn't adopt it until after he kills a lot of people. And
He earns it.
what I like
Yeah.
about this portrayal of absolute slaughter, the panels are very small. Like on one page, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 panels on one page
Yeah.
of him wrecking somebody.
Yeah.
And that not nine panels necessarily, but that happens for a lot of pages. Maybe
Well, this whole
maybe 8 pages. He kills a hell of a lot of people.
the fight scene reminds me of something that it's like quick cuts between like a really busy fight scene. This actually feels like a fight scene as opposed to like some comics, you have like 3 or 4 different panels.
Right,
on it.
but you
But
have
this
a
feels
lot.
like it's like a I'm trying to think of like a good example of what's a director that has like really quick cuts like fight scenes that are
Tarantino
different-
Kill Bill was
yeah,
so fast.
yeah, that's a great
so
example.
fast.
Yeah, this is almost like a Tarantino. Yeah, exactly, a Tarantino style, like as far as speed of frames go, or cuts go.
Cuts are in frames in this case. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's not like the artist skimped. Like
No.
I feel bad. Like I don't know who the artist is. It just says lowercase r period lowercase m period Guerra. I don't know who you are, but your art is awesome.
That's the
I mean, it's amazing.
It is really good. Oh, they wrote the. Okay, Image. I understand. Like this first kind of splash page thing, the very first page is awesome, but I can't read. Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I can't read
Yeah, it's
any
so,
of the
it's so small.
the credits at the top of the page.
It's so small,
It's
guys.
almost impossible. Holy shit!
Like the desert, like
super small.
horrendous, like
you keep
layout you provide is awesome, but
I actually still can't. I feel like a really old person. I feel like I should have my glasses on.
where am I?
and you
Kid,
got
I
LASIK,
can't almost see.
He doesn't wear glasses.
But I don't think the credits. Those credits are in the front of the book.
Yeah,
think in the
that's
back.
kind of like I looked before we started recording. I looked for this guy's name because I wanted to give him props, but I couldn't find it.
Right. Yeah. It's. Oh, here we go. Okay. Yeah. Aramguera.
Yeah,
Aramguera.
what's M? I don't know.
Oh,
But you're good, dude. Whoever you are, you're good.
Yeah. He's. did a
It's
great job.
it's really awesome, and whoever was in charge, like the panels, the layout, it's so unique.
You know what this art reminds me of? It reminds me of heavy metal.
Yes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the art looks really. It's just great. Vivid.
I mean, the art through the entire thing is fantastic.
I love when he finally gets dressed.
Yeah.
He decides to eat a raw chicken wing or leg wing. I don't know what it is, but he just walks off. Like that's what I would do. I would grab a fried chicken wing if I could get it, and I would chew it, and I would
If you
walk
just
off.
killed like 19 dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also you probably would have gotten dressed because you would have been tired of your uncircumcised penis flopping around.
Floppy. That doesn't seem like it would be very beneficial to a fight.
Okay. Absolutely not. I don't know. Like, think about trying to do anything like, say, even if you're cooking food. Think about if you're in a kitchen and you're cooking, like you're dealing with hot things or sharp things. Just think about that, but then think maybe your dick is out.
Uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable about the least, dangerous at the worst.
Yeah.
Because
That's why I often check to make sure first.
right.
Keep it in check.
It's good to make sure.
Yeah.
Approach the stove. Approaching stove.
Before you approach the stove, is your dick out?
My dick is out. What next?
If your dick is out, put your dick away.
Put on underwear.
Because while you're waiting for the water to boil, what else are you gonna do for a few minutes? So.
Asterisk. Make sure your dick is still away. But like fighting, because he's not only he's fighting other men, they have like sharp objects. it's really easy to like, you know.
Yeah.
Can you imagine how easy
Just
it would
nick it.
be?
Just nick the tip. It goes flying out.
Something glances off your dick.
What could make your situation work? Spending the rest of eternity without your dick.
Or was just part of it.
You know,
Oh, without the sensitive part. Just the mechanical parts. All you got.
Oh man. Oh, you had to get some weird shit then.
Yeah. I don't know. You have to start milking the prostate.
Yeah,
or
I was gonna
something.
say.
Like, you gotta-
The cane at that point is gonna go for some butt stuff.
yeah, you got to. I mean, shit, something. Yeah, this thing that's only good for pissing now.
And not so good for holding back the piss either. Like if
no.
you don't have the whole thing, you gotta piss. Guess what? You're probably gonna piss pretty soon.
Oh, you're thinking about you have to pee it too late. It's already happening.
Maybe you should just find a secluded area.
Just falls out.
No, but getting back to Kane being this very pristine European man, I am slightly. I brought this up to Jared too. But Noah, the cannibal shipbuilding slave owner, it's very clearly like African descent. And like all
look at
these,
his hair.
yeah, it's like super African.
maybe they just have a lot of diversity in the area, in that region. Everyone's very tolerant of each other.
And it's like the bad guys are obviously black, and the good people are white. It's very diverse.
God damn it! They had to go and do that again.
although like
Fuckers.
he did kill a bunch of white guys.
Yeah, I guess the earlier bad guys.
The
were all
really
white guys.
okay. Well, now the white guys are like the hillbilly, really stupid ones, and Noah, who's the
Yeah,
African.
notice how big their eyes are. Like the earlier dudes, like they have like really goony faces. But Noah looks like I said, like Benicio del Toro, or like a young Benicio del Toro, or like Brad Pitt, or somebody.
voluptuous lips.
Yeah,
and,
he's
Noah
like- he's
has
very
wild
attractive.
hair at the end.
Yeah.
and everybody looks like Captain whatever. All the white guys look like Captain whatever from the fucking I forget. That movie with the clown with the shot by Rob Zombie.
Oh, Captain Spaulding.
Captain Spaulding from
They look like
fucking,
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, they all look like Captain Spaulding
they
from House of a
mostly
Thousand
look like
Corpses.
Captain Spaulding.
Ooh, the dudes behind Noah.
The one,
No,
the ones he
these-
fights in the
the-
middle.
yeah.
They
Fresh
actually, actually, including everyone who's with Noah too. Everybody else looks like Captain Spaulding.
The dudes behind Noah look like. This sounds horribly racist, but it looks like Planet of the Apes. Like
Jesus Christ! I mean, yeah,
it
kinda
does, but look, they're wearing the headgear.
However,
They're wearing the headgear, like in the fucking shoulder pads and the beards.
I'm gonna see that again.
It's
Actually,
horrendous.
yeah.
They have kind of a cat face,
I
but like
see what you're saying. It's not necessarily like because of their skin color. or
no,
anything
it's
that.
like
It's
the
because of
movie,
their armor,
the
like,
movie,
looks-
what
is
the movie
reminiscent
did
of-
with them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can see that for sure.
Also, they you know they really look like the dude. Like I said earlier, these dudes especially look like dudes would be in the movie Heavy Metal. Like
Yeah.
especially at the end. Remember the dudes at the end, like the
Yep.
green dudes.
Yep.
Are they green? I think they're green. But they look like
Look at their armor and their fucking weapon
they
choices.
look like the mutant dudes at the end.
But I like how Noah's described: lumberjack, trapper, shipbuilder.
Man of God.
It's awesome.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, he does look like he's actually he kind of looks like an islander.
He does.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
does.
yeah.
He's not super dark, but he's very broad and he has
He's-
broad features.
He's broad. He's got the
he looks like
hair
he's,
of an islander. and-
Samoan.
yeah.
He looks like a
he's
Samoan.
got the earrings,
Yeah,
the rings.
it looks like he could be like a distant cousin of the Rock.
If you smell.
He's like he's a much stouter version of the Rock.
The rock
Yeah.
pile.
Yeah,
They got all these rings on. Like what?
yeah.
When was the Bronze Age?
Way after. Well, okay, this is fake, so.
I'm gonna need a little
mean
more
in real life?
accuracy out of these.
I don't think talking about the Bronze Age is going to help us get any perspective on this particular book. I'm going to say it's way after this.
Yeah. Way
Yeah, 'cause
after
this
the
is-
giant lizard
Yeah.
people that he was fighting.
Yeah, that's right.
After
No,
huge
look at
lizards.
the fucking the camel type thing. but it's not quite a camel. It's like an ostrich.
Yeah, it's a weird ostrich camel.
Like, this is fucking awesome. Like
Oh,
the way.
actually, you know what that is? That's a really skinny tauntaun.
I didn't see. I
Yes!
didn't see that. Let me
Yeah,
see.
look at that.
The way
That's a, it's
the
a
way
tauntaun
like
that's
the
really
way
skinny.
this whole like splash page.
Yeah, it has
Yeah,
little
it
hand,
is.
those little arms and shit.
Yeah, it's fucking
This
weird.
splash page
Yeah.
like twists everything around
This
in
is
the
a
right
very
kind of way.
strange swatch.
Yeah.
Well,
As
there's
we
also
talk
like
about it, I'm realizing that this book is. I would say it's like a fantasy kind of. Well, I mean,
you don't say.
Well, no, because whenever I was reading it first, I was like a reinterpretation of the Bible in a way that is interesting.
Dan is trying to say, before we all miss the point, it's like the movie Crossroads. Takes the legend of Robert Johnson was a real person. Legend has it, sold his soul to Crossroads in order to play guitar better. So that movie, Ralph Macchio's in its live action movie, but it's as if it's 1980 whatever, and he's going back to the area where it supposedly happened and found out that, like, oh gosh, this is real, it did happen. So this is like in the way that Conan the Barbarian is, in the like back in the history of humans, but it's just the author's take on it. It's like a different whenever giant lizards or giant snakes in the case of Conan existed. So
Right.
remember those lizards in Genesis? Whatever, go with it. That's all.
And I don't know if anybody else knows this, but there's like some kind of pack animal that it's really difficult to see, but it looks like
It looks badass.
I don't know, whatever that is.
Yeah,
That thing. There's like a big cage. That thing.
Yep.
Here, I'll just pass this around because there's like a big weird. Now that I look hard, I admit the first time I read that, I didn't look very hard at that page. It's very Star Wars, like Tatooine kind of. Anybody have anything else to say about that particular book?
No.
Recommended.
Recommended.
Yeah,
Highly
yeah.
recommended.
Recommend it. Yeah, it's great. It's fantastic. Yeah, disregard all the negative things we said about any other topics we may have just discussed. But like this book itself is fucking fantastic, and you should read it.
Yes.
It's awesome. The art's great. It turns a story that many people know on its ear, and
Well, you see, if you don't get the reading this, if you don't get the alternate cover, the standard cover, once you finish the book, you'll realize that the cover, at least it seems to us or to me, we were discussing earlier, that is like the first scene from the second book,
Right.
is what's depicted on the cover.
Yeah.
So it's pretty neat.
yeah. Yeah. So we can move on to
Ash versus Evil Dead.
yeah, the what I think we can all agree on as being one of the coolest TV shows any of us have seen in a while.
It is excellent.
For sure. Hands down.
Ash versus Evil Dead on Showtime, right? Showtime.
Stars.
Stars.
Stars. Yes, on Stars. Yeah, I mostly just, actually, Stars and whatever premium channels they can take note of this. Lots of us don't watch your shows on your website where you could potentially make some extra money because they're either not available or you have too many fucking ads on them. So maybe you should change that because I would love to go on your website. I might even pay a small fee to be able to go on your website.
Mhm.
And like I know HBO Go is a thing.
But they're the only ones that really.
Exactly. I would gladly pay a small fee because I don't subscribe to your channel at all now, but I might, pay a few dollars a month to be able to watch a couple shows, the ones I'm interested in, and you'd be making more money than less.
Yeah. Get like 10 streams a month for,
Yeah.
a few bucks.
Exactly. Like just all the episodes of one show, or maybe you could even buy shows individually.
Right. Imagine that.
That would be crazy.
Yeah, just be fucking
Idiots.
reasonable
Yeah.
with it. Because
Yeah.
if you wanted to watch this on Stars, how much would you have to pay to watch this one show?
Right. Exactly. I'm not.
Right. Every fucking month.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah, because I watch a bunch of other shows that aren't on Stars, and I don't
Yeah.
have time to watch all the shit that's on Stars, and I don't want to pay for all of Stars.
Yeah, I don't know how much fucking cable is because who the hell
Fuck
cares
that.
anymore?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
But
A lot.
Yeah.
Like especially like the only way to get cable is to buy it with a telephone
Yeah, you gotta get a
Who
whole
the fuck
package.
uses a landline?
and sign a contract
then you
with
gotta
your
get the
blood
internet?
that says like
Yeah.
yeah, that says that if you say you don't want it, that they can come to your house and like wail on you or
Right.
something.
Take
Like,
my only
it's
son
ridiculous.
Spike away from me.
Yes, exactly.
Dan's son Spike.
So he
Inception
can't have
in
cable
7th
'cause he
grade.
loves him.
Yeah, my Jesus gift Spike, my only son. You gonna take his cable?
Right. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
anyway, point is, I'd love
Cable's
to be able to
garbage.
watch. Yeah, cable sucks, and we're going to talk about a show that's on cable, and what we just said has no reflection on the show itself because the show is awesome.
The show is fucking incredible. Good
Right.
job,
Well,
stars.
Once
Right,
again,
great
we try,
job.
We try
Yeah.
to lift
Nailed
something
it.
up in a complimentary way.
You
and
like,
end up
you know, like
just
why
Just
cable?
shitting all over it.
all over something right next to it, but it's kind of related like in a big way.
Like, we love this thing we're about to talk about, but by the way, this thing that's like really closely related to it sucks so much ass. And
It's
fuck that.
it's like
and
I
everyone
love-
should destroy it.
I love the mail, but I fucking hate my mailman.
What a dick.
That's a fucking perfect example.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that is. That's exactly it. It's like having that asshole mailman who's like fucking opens up your mail slot in your door and like intentionally jams it fucking through so it just goes goddamn everywhere, you know? Or like this one guy, this one place I lived at, he tried to hit my dog with the fucking mail through the mail slot. Like, no wonder why my dog tried to eat you through the mail slot, you asshole. I watched you try to hit him with fucking mail, like, a bunch of times when I was home. Yeah. Like,
It sounds like you didn't like
Wow.
your mailman. This is really personal. For you.
yeah, that was a real thing. That's a true story.
Holy shit.
Oh,
And then-
okay.
My mailman now is all right.
Oh, okay.
He holds it down.
Yeah, no, all my mail guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so
They should get high. I mean, what else would you do? Listen to podcasts. Listen to this podcast.
right, yeah.
You probably listen to a lot of podcasts if you're a mailman.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, what the fuck else are you gonna do?
We should probably market this towards mailmen.
Yeah, yeah, that's our demographic.
We're doing a great
is
job on
mailmen.
that so far.
Oh shit. So, anyway, so we're going to talk about Ash versus Evil Dead, which is
Eventually,
Yeah, so the show.
yeah, we get a little off
The
track
first
sometimes.
5 minutes of this show are amazing.
Yeah.
It puts
Oh.
you right in there.
Oh man, especially if you like Evil Dead, if you like Bruce Campbell, if you like Sam Raimi, you're gonna get into it. This is, I don't know, this is the easiest thing to get into if you're into what it is already than anything we've probably talked about previously.
take note.
Yep.
Ridley Scott and George Lucas. This is how you please your fans.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give them
Oh,
exactly
shit.
what they fucking want to see. Like if you like Evil Dead, if you like any of the things we just said, just give us the first, not even 5 minutes, 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Actually, even the first
It's
minute.
probably like 30 seconds. It might
Yeah.
even be that. And
It's-
also, like, even if you aren't familiar with this,
it's
evil,
just funny
like,
as shit.
it tells you so much about the character immediately without having
Yep.
to like pander to you and explain anything.
Yeah,
he's
He's like a fucking loser.
a prick.
Yeah.
yeah. It's him jamming out to Deep Purple in his trailer, like putting on a girdle,
Yeah.
and thinking he like genuinely believing
Reliving
he looks
his youth.
great.
He reliving his youth too.
Right,
Like
right.
he's doing that to like think like I was such a badass at one point. I ruled the army of darkness.
But the best thing about Ash though is he is like a loser in kind of standard regular life. But when it comes to actually not even standard regular life, he goes to that bar with the intention of like picking up a woman,
Mhm.
and he does it within the first.
But she's a
minutes.
depressed like.
But yeah, but that's what he's going for. Like he's not looking for she's the only woman at the bar.
Right.
He
Yeah.
totally
But
achieves the goal he's
he
going
puts
for.
the moves on the younger girl and like totally strikes out.
No. But then, what I was going to say further was that, like, even though, like, first he bangs out the woman in the beginning,
Right.
and then, like his regular thing is to work at the store, and he sucks at that. But then shit starts to go off, and he once again becomes really badass. That
does.
first part where he hits a switch, his shotgun pops out of the
man.
ground, shoots it behind his back, and then
Over the
puts-
shoulders. That
Yeah.
was
Fuck
so
yeah,
cool,
that was
man.
awesome.
Yeah. You're like, wow,
Damn.
God. And then she says for the audience, she's like, "Who are you?" And he goes, "Yeah, I told you to think about it."
Yeah.
and she even says like, "Yeah,
kinda
okay."
admits, yeah, she kinda admits.
Yeah, she's like, "Okay, but can we go save my dad now?" She doesn't say like, "No, fuck you." She says, "Yeah, I did just think about it." Even though you're an old man in a girdle and you have one hand.
And,
The
and doesn't she
rosewood
like make a comment like he says like I'm 20 pounds overweight or something, and she's
She
like
says, "It's just
10.
funny.
He's
Just,
like,
just
I'm,
funny."
I'm 50 years. I'm graying with in 10 pounds overweight. She's like, maybe 30. Try 30. He's like,
Yeah. I think he volunteers 30.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does he?
I think so.
Oh,
Anyway,
maybe.
yeah.
Regardless, it's funny. He's got
Yeah.
he's very funny. He has a certain charm to him that makes him very very likable.
If you like Bruce Campbell, we don't have to explain to you why. But if you don't know who he is, he yeah.
Well, because think about this, guys. There is a generation of TV watchers, of bingers that didn't grow up with Evil Dead.
Right.
Like they're coming into the game and they have binged things, but Evil Dead, like that's not on their radar. So they're watching this for the first time. Like,
Yeah, I would argue that people who are into this sort of show that it is,
they're coming to it.
they're coming to see that, they might go back and actually watch
Well,
the earlier one.
they will, but the new people, like if you're making a show, like you're pitching a show to Stars or any like major network, you have to be able to say more than
Anyone
I'm
can
going to capture the nostalgic audience.
Right.
You have to say we're going to do it in a way that's going to attract new people. And to someone that has not watched Evil Dead, I think this is very accessible.
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
it opens up so well. Like, this guy's a loser who really likes himself.
yeah,
And then he kind of proves you wrong, like in that first episode, like because you watch him and you're like, you're such a fucking douche, and then he ends the episode and you're like, you're not a fucking douche.
yeah. You just happen to have fallen into a really shitty situation, and you might be a little crazy
Right,
because of that, but not a
but
douche.
you're kind of badass. So like, I don't want to say he's a badass, but he is a badass.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
absolutely badass.
Gotta say, each of the movies even preceding the show did a pretty good job of catching everyone up in just a couple of minutes, if that. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, you have no reason. Like, if in case you missed that last hour and a half movie, this is basically it,
Yeah.
and then some.
Yeah, and Sam Raimi actually had like a crash course in doing that with Evil Dead 2. In fact, I just read this today. I didn't realize why it had proceeded, like the production had proceeded the way it did. But you know how like in Evil Dead he's with 4 people, or he's with 3 other people, but in Evil Dead 2, the flashback at the beginning is just him and his girlfriend.
I never understood that. I still thought they
It's-
fucked up with continuity.
No, apparently it's because something happened with like the rights to it, where Sam Raimi couldn't get rights to his first movie to use it in the second movie, so he had to reshoot scenes with just Bruce Campbell, and he couldn't get the other 2 actors for whatever reason, and so he had to shoot it just with him, Bruce Campbell, and the person who plays Linda, and so that's why the flashbacks in Evil Dead 2 are not the same as in the first movie.
That confuses shit out of
That's
me.
It's really
Yeah.
confusing, yeah.
I think they all like end and start like in different places. Like they're never like quite right. Even the second one going to the third one, I think is a little fucked up.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
correct,
Because
too, yeah.
I can't remember real well, but
Well, at the end of the second one, he gets into the past, and there's like a whole army that's like worshiping him. But then in the next movie, he's kind of like up shit creek. No one's
Yeah, they capture him. as
right.
yeah.
Right.
yeah,
Right.
And you were right the first time, by the way. It is 4 other people. It's
Is it 4?
Sherry, Cheryl, Linda, Scott, and himself.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Okay.
damn.
But,
Nice.
you know, yeah.
And those are like general fucking names too. You remembered all those.
Yeah.
They're like
On
unique
it.
names.
On
You
it.
would have kicked ass at trivia night, right?
Yeah. He does have a mind like a steel trap, though. He can remember anything.
Cheryl, the first girl to get infected, is his sister. She only says it once.
Right.
In there.
Yeah.
After she's turned.
Yeah. Which is what he's referencing whenever he says, "I've had to kill loved ones." Family and loved ones in the second episode of the new series.
Yeah, when he was
That's
talking.
the second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like whenever I don't know if I should say, if people are gonna watch it, whatever.
Yeah.
But whenever he's talking to the what's her name, then he knows where she's coming from,
Yeah.
even though it's happened to him 30 years before.
So I have
Fuck, is that how long ago?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, and he does say 30.
Yeah.
He does.
says
He
it.
drops it.
Yeah, and there's two other things that I wanted to say. One, as far as the 30-year gap, that's one regret that I do have about the show is that I, like, from the end of the first movie into the second one, okay, aside from the continuity errors between them, and it started that early on, where, there it was like, okay, you've just kind of disowned, like, most of the cast from the first movie. And then from the second one and the third one, the people are either worshiping or treating him well. But then at the end of that one, where does it end? He's in a supermarket and he's got the gun, and they're like, why didn't they continue that or pick up this show right where the end of the third movie left off? Because then it would be like one whole seamless thing. And I really like the idea of that.
Totally cool.
But it's like Back to the Future 1, 2, and 3. Like you can trace them all in one solid line.
Yeah.
The Evil Dead 3 movies were like that too. Now, one thing, yes, it's a long gap. I wish that he hadn't said it, one, because then you keep that straight line going, but two, it's hilarious that Wet Hot American Summer does not acknowledge that it was made 15 years apart from its movie counterpart.
Yeah.
It would, like, 30 years is even funnier.
That might have even been going too deep, though. You know what I mean? Too deep to attract a new audience. Where everybody else who loves the Evil Dead's, like, oh man, that's so fucking rad. But everybody else is like, Is
there any like recognition of the third movie?
I was just
in
about
this
to
show?
say that. I was waiting for a break.
Yeah, like
Yeah, goddamn. Like they kind of just dust over that.
Right, yeah.
They didn't say anything about it.
That's a good point.
And he
There's
has
been
wooden
no
hand with the
mention.
metal hand.
Well, the gauntlet thing.
It'd be cool if they
actually has another hand.
It'd be cool if they didn't mention it, and then like it's like near the end of the season, like he breaks out that metal hand or something. Like, oh yeah,
would
some
be
other shit happened.
Made still.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
That would be great.
I just kind of
Are you listening,
assumed that
Sam
that's
Raimi?
what they were going with. Maybe I'm giving them like too much of the benefit of the doubt. Where I was like, oh, he just reverted back to this one because it's like less intrusive and
Right.
like not as noticeable. And
He did
Yeah.
lose his hand in the last one, in number 2, at the very end. He loses that wooden hand.
Yeah.
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 He loses it to
that's
that
true.
cop.
Yeah. Because he had to take the handcuffs off.
Yeah, he goes, "Oh, I lost Woody," or whatever he says.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So maybe it's in the,
He
in the
goes, "Toss
trailer
me a
somewhere.
hand." Yeah.
Yeah.
So the other thing, losing the hand, crap. Well, I forget what I was going to say to finish up that point. But no, I do now. The age thing, aside from like the time gap and like losing an opportunity to have a little bit of an extra gag there, is that I was a little disappointed seeing they're kind of going for the easy ones, like the goiter, like to keep his gut in, and then also there's a moment where he dips dentures into a glass. And
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Well,
you can I sort of expected like Ghostbusters to make old jokes or like anytime there's like a Lethal Weapon. Actually, I shouldn't have said Ghostbusters because I haven't seen it. I probably won't. But Lethal Weapon 4. By the time you get to that,
Oh.
and they're making jokes about like,
Indiana Jones
Yeah.
is a big culprit where Harrison Ford's like, oh, I'm too old for whatever.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
I watched like 15 minutes of that movie and fucking walked away from it. That's where I am in my life. I will walk away from shit.
It's one of the worst movies ever.
You're like, I don't got time for
Newer
this
Die
shit.
Hard.
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, all that shit.
So it's if they had like it just by now, and it's not their fault necessarily, but I really was kind of tired of hearing it.
I don't know. I remember because Jen and I watched the like 2 of the episodes last night. I'm not sure if we talked about this whenever we all watched them, but the tooth thing that's a joke. Did we talk about that?
Yeah.
Oh, the teeth. Oh, yeah. You
Remember when he brought
we did
that
talk
up?
about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
but he did the 1-2 thing,
when he
and then
pulled
he
the
actually
tooth-
pulled
that's-
out his whole bottom.
No,
dentures.
explain. When he pulled the tooth
Okay,
out.
so he pulls
Yes.
the tooth out. Apparently in the very first movie when they were shooting it, like a cameraman fucked up and hit Bruce Campbell in the face with his camera and knocked out a couple of his teeth. And so like him pulling that tooth out is like kind of a reference to the fact that
Really?
he actually is missing teeth. and I'm not sure what the if the dentures thing is like. I'm sure I don't know. Maybe Bruce Campbell actually has dentures or not, but like he definitely has a couple false teeth because in the very first film he was injured and got a couple teeth knocked out.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, which I think is really cool.
That
And
is
it
cool
was
because
really
I mean
funny.
that is very cool because it was a pretty prominent like point in the show. Like
Yeah,
they made a point of showing it.
Yeah.
yeah, and maybe it was like a very subtle,
Mm-hmm.
hey, if you know anything about the movies, like here's some trivia for you.
And this is it's so cool because it's so accessible, like Jared was saying. It's a little so people who really loved how campy the Evil Deads were, it's a bit less campy.
It's
But
legitimately
it's still-
scary at points.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
get some good
it's
stuff.
Yeah.
it can be they're like when they're in the house, the
Right.
state police in
Yeah,
the first
yeah.
one, it was really kind of like you
It's
said, kind of scary.
It's a great mix of campy and scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it blends both so perfectly. Like you look at like the possessed person and you laugh, but then what happens and like the way it's shot and the lighting is so key. Like it's flashing on and off and like it's dark, it's not dark, it's not like it's creepy. Like you can't help but be
And
scared.
it's the flashlight on the ground
well,
that's
yeah,
like
that
spinning
that
around.
was so
That's
good.
like
The first-
yeah.
So good.
Oh,
man.
so cool.
Okay, that first episode, you can tell that Sam Raimi directed the first episode, and the other ones are not directed by him. But I mean, he's like overseeing, but he's not directing them. But the direction in the first episode, and I'm not sure if he had input on like what's actually happening with like the cinematography and shit. But that first episode is a much more like for me that's like pure, like the distilled down version of exactly what I want from this series. Like it's scary when it needs to be scary. It's funny as fuck when it needs to be funny. But everything about that is it. Like the first episode is to me the best one.
Yeah.
You've got,
Yeah, so far, yeah.
and it's also a little bit longer, so he had a little
That
more
helps.
space to work with.
Yeah, that's true
Yeah.
too. They should
It's
be
like it's
longer.
like what,
Yeah.
45 minutes?
It's 45 minutes versus
The other
30.
ones are 30.
Yeah. But even like the kind of the scary or the action parts in like the next couple episodes, they're fine, but they're not as intense as in the first episode. Like the first episode, when those cops are on the thing, the whole time it's like you're like kind of on edge.
Tense.
There's nothing funny about
It
it.
was very tense.
Especially whenever initially when the girl turns her head around
Mhm.
and then she like breaks her
Her arms are all crazy.
arms and like
Oh,
spine
yeah.
and shit. And then
That
she
was
starts
horrible.
walking towards them, and you're
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck is that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was genuinely it's really scary.
And
she's
but
walking-
and then after that, like the one dude was
Hitting
on the
ceiling?
fucking ceiling. Like that was
shit is
terrible.
really scary. And there's nothing in either with like the next 3 episodes was like really freaked me out. Like those things watching them by myself in the dark. It's like wow, okay, you got me a little bit there. That was
Yeah, it got me.
yeah. But the next ones they're fun.
The
It's more like they're just fun. It's not necessarily like there's no scary moments.
the third one had that
The
demon they
creature.
summoned.
Yeah.
It was very
Oh, yeah, that thing's-
Guillermo
that's
del
kinda scary.
Toro. Like
Right.
it felt like
yeah, it looks like the pale man from Pan's
Pan's
Labyrinth.
Labyrinth. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Oh fuck, that's kind of I haven't seen the third one.
Oh, it's good. It's the character Ash is taken up like this is not. It's not a deadite. It's some
an actual
summon a
demon.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
So
yeah.
it behaves. It's not obviously not shot with the same techniques as
Yeah.
the deadites.
Creepy
Because
as
it's a totally
fuck.
different creature.
Yeah.
But is it
Yeah.
good? Is it like too CGI or is it?
No.
No, it's not CGI at all. It's a dude in a suit.
Oh, rad.
It looks really scary.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also you can, it's the sort of thing where it's real, so you can visualize yourself touching it. Like it's like slimy and
Job of the
gross.
Hutt effect.
it's it's the job of the Hutt thing. Yeah, exactly. It's actually there, so it looks scary.
And like the Deadites. I mean, it really seems like
yeah, they're there.
it
They're
looks like. I mean, it doesn't look like it is somebody. How you would chase after someone if you had to walk really fast backwards towards them, like this. Yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I love the noises that the Deadites make.
Yeah.
They're scary. They make these like deep noises, and then they shriek, and they move so fast.
Yeah.
And
As opposed to
and-
like the annoying, like the
right, the
from
Walking Dead walkers. Yeah, like no.
Okay, I get it.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
all, I don't know.
They hiss.
They all need
They
to drink some
whatever.
water.
Yeah, they're dehydrated.
Yeah.
Like,
Not
what are they even
scary.
expelling? If they can exist underwater, then that means they don't have to breathe.
Right.
They don't, like, why are
Like,
they
are they
making
just
noises?
digesting? Is that like some digestive enzyme? Do they have fucking gas? Like, what? You don't have to breathe. What do you do? Yeah, stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, if your lungs haven't deteriorated, like fucking, the rest of your flesh is deteriorated, but your organs aren't deteriorated. Like, what?
The George
Makes
Romero
no
zombies didn't breathe.
sense.
Yeah, they didn't breathe.
They did not. That is true. I mean,
Right.
when in Night of the Living Dead or Dawn of the Dead, have you heard? It was all just.
Yeah.
Silence.
Yeah.
But I did like, and one thing I forgot to say, that demon from the last episode. When I saw him, it was like when playing Resident Evil, at like an hour, 2 hours into it,
Yeah.
and you
said
finally
that.
realize, oh, this isn't just about zombies. It's,
Yeah.
you know,
How it's monsters.
So as I was watching the episode and I saw that thing, I thought, I wonder how deep this goes beyond Deadites and the evil dead that we know.
It's evil.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pure evil. That's what he's
They
fighting.
explain the book a little bit more in that because the book
They do, yeah.
even a lot of the evil things that happen are kind of vague. Like, what
Right.
the fuck are the rules in this?
Right. Which I
Like, it's not like
about
a bite that turns you into something, or like it's not real defined.
Well, I kind of like that because
Yeah.
whenever you get into a series where like the rules define, like really a good example, like maybe like Phantasm or Hellraiser, where like Hellraiser tries to kind of establish a set of rules where it's like if you like, the puzzle box does this, and then if you open it, then the what are they called?
The Cenobites.
The Cenobites.
Sounds like cinnamon buns.
Yeah. The cinnamon buns come
Cinnamon
out.
buns.
Cinnamon
Like
buns come out
they
and
might
fuck
kill
up.
you, but they might not kill you depending on like who you are and what you're trying to do with the box. And it's no, it's just like a weird like establishing less rules. I don't think is ever as much of a problem as establishing the rules and then trying to abide by them. Especially when it's like a horror like fantasy situation, like because once you're in that situation and you tried to make some rules, then people are gonna be like, but what about wait, so what if this happens and then this happens? And you're like, well, I don't know, just don't think about it that deeply.
Yeah, don't get that obsessed with it.
Yeah, I was
once
just
again,
trying to have some fun here.
Once again, Star Wars is proving to be an excellent example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I mean, because I'm afraid of getting into it for too long. But yeah, I mean, the Force is.
Right.
I don't want to hear midichlorians or anything like that.
yeah.
Just-
People are like, no, fucking no, midichlorians, no.
They don't
Force is just
exist.
some magic shit. We don't.
Yeah, the force is like a mystical force, and we don't really know what it is.
But at the same time, I have always been really curious about the origins of the book and having them expound upon it for a couple of minutes in the episode. I thought was.
I like how they explained it. Like, you
Yeah.
read the book or whatever, and all hell breaks loose.
That was like
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not an expert on the franchise, but I felt like that was the best explanation of the book.
Yeah.
It wasn't
That
too
They ever
detailed,
gave,
but
yeah.
it gave you like a kind of an idea of what.
Was this in the third episode?
Yes,
Mhm.
Okay, that's why I'm.
I told you to stick around to
I
watch
know,
the
I
third
should've stayed,
episode.
but I was so tired last night.
Yeah, you're so tired, and you
Can't say
don't
if I
watch
had
the
to get
third
up
one,
early and do an
you know.
interview this morning.
Well, it ain't my fault.
It was donut day. I wanted to get up early so I could get some
I was
donuts.
just saying, if
And I
you
did. I ate donuts.
If you just want to talk about it, like
I ate
on a
6
podcast
donuts
instead
today.
of
I just
watch
want
it.
you to know that.
All right. Well,
They were good.
I'm glad you enjoyed your donuts.
I did. It's so nice.
However,
Well, I'm gonna watch 3 tonight.
you should.
But
It's
maybe
excellent.
I won't because now it is 10 minutes after 3 in the morning.
Oh, you don't say.
Jesus.
Yeah, we
Real time.
I do want to say before I don't get a chance to, I don't think that Ash is a loser who sucks at his job and at life. I think Ash is like Gandhi, who just knows that his job isn't really important.
Very deep. Very deep.
No, that's good. I like that. Yeah, that was good.
I don't agree with you, but very deep.
No, I mean, it's not that. Well,
He's a loser.
I mean,
Come on.
yeah.
Come on, guys.
His job isn't important, and he kind
No.
of is a loser. But
I
he knows
think,
that like there's more important shit. So what's important to pay?
I think his job is important, but I just think he's a loser.
Yeah. Well, I think that
Like he's a
No,
loser.
his job at the fucking
Oh,
discount
that job
shack.
is not
Yeah.
important. But
Yeah.
but
his actual you mean
his
job of, like,
actual
protect-
job is protecting humanity from
well,
evil.
that's really important. Yeah.
It's super important, but like he's a loser in every aspect of life,
Well, I think that
waiting to complete his job.
Yeah, I think that his job his real job hasn't been his job in such a long time because the best
Right.
part about this for me, and the whole series is that
How he
everything
fucked things
that's
up.
happening is his fault.
Yep.
Yeah.
He just
Because he got stoned.
Yeah, he got fucking like high and was trying to bang somebody, and he was like, "Oh yeah, by the way, I have this book that," because after 30 years, you're like, probably doesn't still work, right? Like,
Why would he keep it in the trunk?
I'm not even sure that even happened.
Bury
Why
it.
would he keep it at all?
Right.
Like,
Just
yeah.
bury it. Move
Yeah.
on with your life.
Yeah.
He was so funny whenever he said that. He was like, well, "Here's this book wrapped in human skin, inked in blood."
Well, that's the thing. Like he's the kind of dude who wouldn't be able to, like his ego is still like kind of fragile because he's wearing like that stupid like bustier.
Yeah.
And he's going out to like kind of prove himself. He's not the dude who has the mental capacity to throw the book away. Like
No.
the book is the only evidence he has that he defeated this evil. And then he was, well, we don't even know if this is true, but he got sucked back in time and like helped to help King Arthur and shit. Like that.
I don't think they're recognizing that. I get the impression that they're not recognizing, and I mean like
Although
the show.
Yeah, I'm
I
surprised
just remember
they're
that.
not.
Did
Yeah,
anybody?
like,
Wait, did
It
anybody
hasn't been mentioned.
besides me watch the 4th episode?
No.
Wow.
No. Oh.
All right, never mind.
Oh. No, I wish that I had.
But
Well, I wish that I had anyway. Why did I say that? Sorry.
but yeah, the point I was trying to make was, and I've had some drinks so far, that he doesn't have the inner strength to throw the book away or bury it or get rid of it or anything like that. Like, he has to have it with him because if he doesn't have that, then no one would believe that he did any of the shit he did, and also any other achievements he has. He literally doesn't have any other achievements.
Right.
He worked at S-Mart. Like that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
So,
his life.
Like his biggest achievement is doing that shit. Like
Is saving the world
Like, he
from
yeah,
evil.
Yeah, from something they didn't
but
even know was like endangering them.
Did he even like
Right.
save the world though? Like, would it have gotten out if it had just killed him? Because it just killed.
That's what I was saying
people
earlier.
at
Like
the-
we don't know what the rules are of the book.
right.
Like
Because there was the
now it's like all over the damn place. But like
Right.
before it was just in a cabin, and then
yeah. Because
It's
originally
tough.
they found the book, and the book had already killed the people who lived there before. Oh fuck! There's more shit about that. You guys need to watch the 4th episode. Fuck.
Oh,
But-
God damn it.
Anyway,
But
it killed the people who were there before, but then there's no like noticeable effect on the world around them because they didn't, they found the book again. So
Mhm.
But in this show, like the Deadites are consistently saying like the end is coming. Like they're saying like very ominous things to him when they try to kill him.
Yeah.
Evil is coming. Like however they're phrasing. I don't remember at this point because it's 3 a.m. and we've been drinking. But they're saying very
Since
ominous
9.
things about the end of humanity.
yeah,
And it like in what you were saying, like prior to this, like we never really thought it was like this high stakes game that he was playing.
Right.
But now like it is, and it's really believable. Like the show is it's fucking great. Like
they're doing a great job of
it's
making it feel like
it's so good. I mean, like the campiness and the scariness is such a wonderful blend. because
It's
I
usually one
never
of the- one of-
remember being scared of the Evil Dead.
Right. One of those
Right.
things usually cancels the other out.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's either campy or it's scary. But specifically, the first episode is both campy and scary. I'd actually say might be leaning towards the scary more than it is
More,
the campy.
yeah.
Everything I like about Evil Dead, all of those feelings I got, and I still get when I do watch Evil Dead, I got those same feelings watching this first episode.
Yeah.
So to me, that's what hooked me. That's what made me think like this is my favorite show that I've seen. And I don't know.
You know, we're
Really?
forgetting the fourth movie. There is a fourth movie.
Mm-hmm.
With the girl.
That's true.
Yeah. What the fuck was that?
Yeah.
They just disregard that shit.
I don't know. I mean,
Altogether. And he's at the end of it.
I
For
read
that second,
Well,
the little scene.
it's not they're disregarding it. It doesn't really come into play.
It doesn't tie
'cause
into anything.
in this show. It doesn't show that old cabin anymore at all.
Yeah.
The only difference is
The girl
that
get away at the end. I can't fucking remember.
Well, the only thing I think of the clash is that the book is at the cabin, and he has the book too in this.
Yeah.
So that's the only.
Well, he also burned the book at the end of the first movie.
That's true too.
So,
They just
Yeah.
fuck up all kinds
You
of stuff.
can't. You cannot burn the
Yeah,
book.
so-
I guess I don't know.
Who knows?
You're
about
right.
The book. Yeah. The only clash is the book itself.
And
Where is it?
in terms of the movie with the girl, I read online yesterday because I was like, after I watched everything, I was like, really like, continuity doesn't make sense because I'm a comic book person. So I started reading about it, and I read that the plan was to blend the girl's story that just came out and Ash's story and conclude everything by the very end. And I don't know when that would happen because the show seems to kind of contradict that whole they're gonna blend it together. So
Although it actually might be kind of cool
it would be like to
if
get it together.
if they introduced that girl.
Yeah.
Although
Oh,
I
dude,
don't honestly
what a
remember-
cliffhanger! See, end of season 1, right there. There it is.
But the thing is, like, honestly, if they introduced her, I'd probably have to look up if that was her because I don't remember what she looks like.
Yeah.
But who
She is.
cares?
She walks on
Because
screen. There's gonna be a moment where like, is this important character? Who the
It,
fuck
but
is
does
this?
it want
Should I
like
know who that is?
you think that, but then you go Wikipedia it and you're like, oh fuck!
Oh shit, that's the
That's fucking
the woman from the
awesome.
First, yeah.
That
And
would
that would
work.
be cool. That would be cool.
Blend it, end it.
Yeah.
And on that note, I have to fucking go to bed. It is goddamn.
We're gonna blend it.
Guys,
and
it
end
is goddamn 3:20 in the morning. We have 6.5 hours into this evening. And tomorrow's Monday. This is how much we love doing this. We fucking been at it for 6.5 hours. Well,
Yeah. Well, it's all about the listener is the most important.
Because we did it for
factor
the
of this.
first 4 hours.
well, the
and
most important
realized we
factor
forgot to
is
hit
that we
record.
have a great goddamn time doing it. And
do. It's
it's
fun.
like hopefully the listeners dig it, you know?
Yeah.
At
Absolutely.
the very least, we fucking have a blast.
I just advertised it tonight at the Oaks Theater. You're welcome, Joe. And I told them all to listen to the podcast. So hopefully we have some listeners from there. How you guys doing? Hopefully.
Yeah. Yeah, listen to it. Like it. Or don't like it. Either way, we're having a fucking good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good time.
Yeah.
Next time, maybe we'll check in with some books.
Yeah. Next.
Yeah.
So next time we were thinking about checking in with
Paper Girls?
some of the books Paper Girls. Some of the books we've been talking about before. Maybe talking about
Gotham mid-season finale is
Oh
next,
yeah.
is tomorrow. Today.
Is it out already?
No, when we like
Go to bed and wake back up.
Today
But no,
being Monday.
but no, actually, it's out now. Like if I go
can
on,
we go watch it
we can
online?
stream it. Yeah, we could probably stream it right now.
Yeah. We
So-
need to talk Gotham.
So the Gotham thing is
Mhm.
that'll for those of you that were listening and waiting for Gotham, we'll probably do it
Keep
next
doing that.
time. Yeah.
I want to talk Flash one of these days.
I love the Flash so much.
It's my favorite show.
It's great.
Yeah, that was a fantastic show.
My favorite.
I'm lucky to have experienced Flash and then now Ash vs. Evil Dead. I experienced Flash late, so I got to I finished that somewhat recently. So there's been interesting things on the television for me over the past few months.
And there's even more Flash you haven't seen.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, you want to watch this next season.
Oh, you know what? In my fucking tired, slightly drunken haze, I was thinking Daredevil.
You ain't
That's
no
okay,
nerd. Get the
that's
fuck out of
okay.
here.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
probably won't talk Daredevil, but
Mm.
we'll probably talk Jessica Jones.
I was gonna say we
Jessica Jones. Holy shit!
It is
holy
so
shit!
it's so good so far. I'm only like maybe 3 or 4 episodes away from the end of it, and holy shit, it's so good.
I'm
Goddamn,
zero.
That show is fucking
So
fantastic.
good. Oh yeah, we're gonna get there. We'll definitely get there. Well, I'm gonna make a preemptive promise to the listeners. Next time, it's probably gonna be Gotham. Probably gonna be Jessica Jones.
Yeah, it's all good.
The whole season, or
We probably shouldn't, because I mean, there's a good
Wait.
chance that a lot of the people listening don't have as much
Free time.
free time to consume Jessica Jones.
Well, we can do like a spoiler-free thing.
Okay,
I will
yeah.
never finish the season.
Well, yeah, you gotta stop doing so much stuff.
I don't do anything.
You gotta start wasting more time.
I don't do anything.
You can watch these things at the shop when no one's in
No. I've tried this,
there.
and I'm into it. I'm watching, and then someone comes in, and then it's over. I missed 10 to 15, 20 minutes.
And you're pissed off, and you're trying to like hurry up and get them out of the store, and then you're like, wait a minute, I fucking own this store.
Right, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I need you to be in the store. So it's like, okay, I should just not turn this stuff on because
I see.
I will get upset.
Watch it on, you can watch on the computer while you're sitting there. So like, if someone comes in, you just pause it.
All right, you just came up with a really good idea.
A long pause.
I'm speaking
He's
from like
fuck.
like years of experience prior to doing what I do right now.
Props.
Of being like an employee. And, like I can just watch. I
He's
could
a
probably watch
slacker
this
from
all.
way back.
Oh, I can slack so hard. I'll slack all day and all night, and no one will ever know.
Been abiding since 2010.
And you have like the perfect, like you have like a nice, like fast Mac for it. Too.
Yeah.
You could
got a
be
big
vegging
screen.
out all day in front of that computer, and then when someone walks in, they wouldn't know the difference. Be like, "Oh, hi, how are you?"
Hurry up, click and pause, closing a window. They'll be like, that dude was just fucking watching porn.
Or you just leave it up, and they're like, "Oh, you watching Flash?" You're like, "Yeah, I was."
I don't care that people know that I'm like vegging out.
Well, you're the boss.
It's more of I don't want to be interrupted. It's like it's so into it. It's like,
Yeah.
but then I realized like, oh, I need these people to come in the store and buy things so I make money and I can keep the store open. So
what we're trying to say is to come into the store and buy things so the store can stay open, so you can continue to come in and hang out with us
yeah,
and have a good time. Because there's been a few instances where like people come in and look, when I've been in there personally,
yeah.
I don't work there, but like, if the two of us are in there,
Good discussions happen.
yeah. There was a guy that came in the other day. He was from like North Carolina or South Carolina, something like that.
Uh huh.
And he started talking to us about like an old Hulk comic, and I didn't know anything about it, and I was glad to hear about it because I didn't know shit about it at all.
I love those conversations where you learn something about a comic you had no idea existed.
Yeah.
Because I don't know everything. I probably know fucking 40% of things.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know 40% of things either, dude.
but in the industry, like there's so much out there, like,
Yeah.
and I love those conversations where you learn something new.
And that guy knew like a lot about
He did.
that stuff, and it was really interesting to
He
hear.
was really, really knowledgeable about stuff from the 70s.
Yeah, but also he didn't know anything about the newer stuff, and like,
He knew nothing.
I remember he mentioned Bloodstone. I was like, well, guess what? There's
Yeah.
some Bloodstone shit in like one of these Seer Wars things, and why don't you check this out? And he's like, oh yeah, that's cool. I didn't know about that. But yeah, it's bottom line is come to the store and talk to Dan, or if any of us happen to be in there, talk to us about stuff, and we can have a good time.
Mhm.
the Southside Comics Shop is not the kind of place where people are going to tell you to fuck off or ignore you or be jerks.
Or tell
like
you
some other places
you can't
where-
afford things.
Right. If you go to like other places that have most of their comics in the basement.
You can afford everything
Mhm.
at Southside
Hey,
Comics.
I will not judge. You want something? Okay. I will help you find it, acquire it. I will not tell you that. I will not even acknowledge the 4 of you's sexual innuendo right now, but
Remember the basement?
No. I thought it was fun. Like, you want something? Okay. Just the thought of somebody walking in like, it's not okay that you came in here wanting something. Like, oh, fair enough. Check your privilege.
at the door.
Oh, guys, I'm getting delirious.
Talking about the basement, I was thinking about the episode of Batman animated series whenever the Penguin forced Batman's mechanic to like fuck with his car.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
He said something about the basement, and Batman's like, the basement's a term race car drivers use to signify a crash or something like that. And Robin's like, well, we have to eject. And he's like, yeah, I know. And then they eject, and the Batmobile crashes.
Has the
Basement
best
makes
show.
me think of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
That's way different.
The basement with the dude takes that
Yeah.
other dude in the basement.
Yeah, that's
what
really
made me think
that's a
of.
lot different.
It's way different.
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck.
Yeah, I think we're all
On that note,
drunk and tired. So
Good night.
good night. Thank you
Yeah.
for listening.
yeah,
If you
Good
did listen,
night.
Thank you also.
some closing music that isn't the Alan Parsons Project for you.
Where do we go from here?
Come to the shop.
Now we can't air any of this.
You ruined it.
Fuck.
Starting over right now. From right now, go. Hercules. So really interesting book. It was fun.
All right, everybody have a good night. Yeah, or good day or whatever time it is. Listen.
Devil is rising, a shadow from the